CTV News Update. Here is Lloyd Robertson.
Good evening. A major news story we're following tonight. A big celebration underway in the city of Mississauga. Hazel McCallion, 82 years young, and 1,000 of her friends and loyal supporters have gathered at that city's convention center to recognize her longevity as mayor of the city for the last 25 years, the longest-serving female mayor in Canadian history. An amazing accomplishment, and one that the popular politician says becomes more challenging every day. My colleague and one of Hazel's biggest boosters, Ted Woloshyn from Newstalk 1010 CFRB, has more on the story.
Thank you, Lloyd. What an incredible journey this has been. 25 years, each day coming to this city hall and guiding what was then a small community to what is now the 6th largest city in Canada. Let's go back and see how it all began. Hazel Mary Muriel Journeau's story begins on Valentine's Day, February 14th, 1921. The place, a small commercial fishing village called Port Daniel on the Gaspé coast. The youngest of 5 children, born to Herbert and Amanda Maud, she would begin to hone her management skills at an early age of 10, helping Dad balance the books and working in the family's small grocery store and fish processing operation. It was also here that Hazel would discover her talents as a hockey player and begin to develop a keen interest in politics. At age 17, the young, ambitious Hazel would graduate from high school in Quebec City and move to Montreal to study business. With a secretarial degree tucked under her arm, she was ready to tackle the world of commerce. The Canadian Kellogg Company, a large construction firm, would eventually send her off to Toronto to manage their office, a position that lasted for 19 years. Hazel's interest in the Anglican Church would not only keep her active in Christian youth activities, it would introduce her to the next important chapter in her life, Sam McCallion. After a beautiful wedding in Toronto, the young couple would settle in a small, quiet village to the west called Streetsville to begin raising a family. And the rest, as they say, is history. Sam started the local newspaper, the Streetsville Booster. Hazel raised 3 children and then rediscovered that interest in politics. Before long, she was the village mayor, and with the amalgamation of the city of Mississauga in 1973, became a city and regional councillor. After just 2 terms, Hazel needed a change and decided to go for the brass ring in 1978. With a solid victory, Mississauga and Hazel McCallion would never look back. With 9 terms and 25 years under her belt and a list of appointments, committees, and chairmanships as long as your arm, this dynamo from the Gaspé coast has become an icon in Canadian politics and throughout the world. And guess what? She's all ours. This is where all the big decisions are made, day in and day out, debate, discussion, disagreement. But at the end of the day, these are the decisions that help shape this great city. And of course, it's a team effort, but as you know, every great team needs a great captain.
She's got an instinct for what's right and what's wrong in politics. It's really quite amazing.
She can sit down at a meeting and not even have opened up her agenda, open up a page, look at it, and pick out the salient points. So, you know, age doesn't have a lot to do with your abilities if you're still very knowledgeable.
She's got a good team underneath her, and she nurtures us in that regard because she knows you need the consensus and the support of council to achieve things.
Any differences of opinion are left at the door, you know, when it comes to working together.
Her philosophy has been, as I see it, that if you're willing to work really hard and you're willing to do your homework and take a stand on issues and be fair, she'll back you 100%.
The rest of council, I guess, have learned from her that mistakes can be made if you don't have all of the issues on the table, all of the opinions, all of the facts.
Hazel always gives credit where credit's due, not only to her colleagues on council, but to her staff. And I think that's very admirable, and it's done her very, very well.
Public have spoken and spoken clearly. She's so popular, and for many reasons, I think she's going to be there for as long as she wants to be mayor. And as long as she's in good health, she'll be our mayor.
She could rest on her laurels right now if she wanted to, and she would go down in history as one of the great, if not the greatest, municipal politician in the history of Canada.
We're here at City Hall in front of the mayor's office. We're going to pop in now and speak to her because, as you know, she's very approachable. As usual, thank you for taking the time to speak with us.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Who would have ever thought that 25 years later you'd still be here on that chair doing the work that you're doing? Did you ever imagine that?
No, I really didn't, Ted. When I became mayor, I remember the morning driving down Britannia Road, or driving up Britannia Road, I should say, and thinking, my gosh, I'm mayor of this big city. Yes, I was mayor of Streetsville, but now this is a much bigger challenge. And I thought about it and said, well, let's go for it.
9 terms, 9 elections as mayor, and upwards of 93, 94% of the people voting for you. What do you attribute that to?
Well, hard work, being out with your people. I give full time to the job, and making sure that the needs of the people, making sure you hear from people. You don't always go along with them, though, but make sure they have the opportunity to speak to you, voice their opinion, and as I say, then we, the elected people, must make a decision looking at all sides of the issue, doing our homework, as I'm noted for saying, and then making a decision.
Election number 10 is coming up. What do you foresee? What's on the agenda for the next 3 years for the state of Mississauga?
Mississauga is going to be faced with a lot of redevelopment because we're getting close to maturity, and infilling. Now, they are going to be tough things to do. Redevelopment and infilling will be far tougher to plan and administer, and to get through the process, the very lengthy process, rather than taking 500 acres or 1,000 acres of greenfield. That's simple. So that's going to be a challenge for the city in the next number of years.
In 25 years of all the residents of the city of Mississauga that you've met, who's your favorite?
If I said you, Ted, I guess that would be.
Just kidding. Thanks very much for your time.
Well, it's been enjoyable. I'll tell you, I've enjoyed the 25 years, There's been ups and downs, but I can assure you it's a pleasure to drive around the city and see, and to hear from the people how happy they are living here. It's just, I'm just so delighted.
One of the keys to the pulse of any great city is its business community. And in Mississauga, business works. One big reason? Well, let's check with some of our esteemed business leaders.
Clearly, the Mississauga market is second to no other market in Canada in the industrial world in terms of the size of the market, its occupancy, or its acceptance as a location.
She has what they want, and that's a good place to live and work with a fair tax base and a government that really does care about those things.
She also sees the big picture, and she finds a way to bring a winning combination to everything.
Her real role has been to establish a set of guidelines and policies and procedures as the head of council that work for this city, and people can do their businesses within that. That's not the same in many municipalities.
She wants the city to be the best in the province, in Canada, and I think in her own mind, in the world.
She's the best salesperson any city could have, because she sells Mississauga 100% of the time.
I have never seen anyone who could do as much as Hazel, and makes me very tired most of the time that I see her. She just has an abundance of energy, and so that energy is translated back into the city.
She's doing all these missions, in Japan and China nowadays. She's keep talking about, hey, come to the city of Mississauga.
I think the reason for the tremendous business expansion is that the city is well managed, and she's the boss.
Knowing that the mayor is there and continuing to support the community gives us confidence to continue to do business here, and to really believe that the opportunities that we've experienced for the last 20 years we'll experience in the years ahead too.
And the incredible thing about the city of Mississauga, as a person who operates a business in Mississauga, is that the city works.
Hazel has won 9 elections, 2 by acclamation. Her popularity in Mississauga is unprecedented in Canadian politics. In this city, Hazel means everything, and you can take that to the bank.
I get goosebumps just thinking about it. She's an amazing woman.
Very nice. I'm very happy with her.
She just keeps everything running smoothly.
She's working hard, yeah.
I just hope she goes another 20 or 30 years.
I like
too much her smile.
She not only mixes with the rich, she mixes with the poor, she mixes with different color, different religion.
She's doing a good job. I have everything I need.
She's a wonderful mayor, and we're proud of her.
She's always very fair, and there's no nonsense. She's always fighting for what she believes in, which is what a lot of us believe in.
I think it's marvelous, and I think she's marvelous.
Everybody loves her.
Hazel is really, in every sense of the word, a truly remarkable person.
Everybody complains that nowadays equality between men and women, and I mean here she is, the standing living proof, and it's not starting now, it happened 25 years ago, so I think the woman's just incredible. Congratulations on your 25th year.
So there you have it, Lloyd. All the reasons why this place is going to rock tonight. A wonderful celebration for a wonderful woman. For Newstalk 1010 CFRB, I'm Ted Woloshyn. Back to you, Lloyd.
Thank you, Ted. And that's the kind of day it's been this Monday, June 16th, 2003. I'm Lloyd Robertson, and from all of us here at CTV News, good night and congratulations, Hazel.